Next one is Lewis. He's saying, what is the easiest way to find out if a stock is not issuing dividends other than going to the stock on the buy or broad list and checking on the info icon and finding it there? Does Financial Issues have a certain list of each stock dividends or a shortcut to something for dividend information? And then he's also asking, is there an easy way to track each stock dividend history? I'm getting close to becoming an income investor. I'm 64. Should no dividend be the main reason to sell the stock, or is there any other reason or reasons other than being biblically sound, of course? What do you think, Shanna?
Lots of questions there.
Yeah.
So I will tell you that we are working on getting an all broad list published for the partners. Now, the purpose of this broad list is not going to be for you to go fishing from the broad list. That's still a rule that's going to stay in place. If you're putting new money to work, we want you to use the buy list. But we do understand that our partners are all at different parts in their portfolio construction and maintenance phases. So we want you to be able to go to a broad list. We want you to be able to see, number one, is it a buy, sell, or hold? That way, you can find out if you've maybe missed an alert. We're supposed to sell something. Another thing that we're going to add into that list is the dividend yield. And so that should feed from another financial site. An API feed is what we call it. So it should be the most up-to-date information. But it's really easy just to click on the stock on the little I button, and what will pop up is the dividend yield. So if the dividend yield is 0, then that means that it's not paying a dividend. It also gives you the rate, so it'll show you that there. A lot of times, wherever you hold your account, whatever brokerage firm that you hold your account with, they usually have some pretty good data on the individual investments. So you can look at the actual security, you can see what the dividend history is. And there's other great sites out there as well. If you just maybe Google like dividend history, just make sure that it's a reputable site, that it's, one of a common site that you would recognize. But I think the best way to do it is to use your brokerage, because that's how you're going to ensure that you get the best data. So
awesome. That's good stuff.
Obviously, BRI is a reason to sell. Even if you're in the income model, the emphasis should be on dividend-paying stocks. So you're going to want to do a review there. So if you get to a sector and let's say, I don't know, maybe you've got 10 stocks in that one sector and you're trying to pare it down to where you should be, then the first criteria is going to be biblically responsible investing, obviously. The second criteria is going to be diversification within the sector. So you're going to want to look at your companies. Let's say you're looking at the utility sector. You've got, traditional utilities. You've also got natural gas. You've got alternative energy. You may have a water company. You may have companies that focus on solar or wind. You may have generation companies. Different things within that sector. So you're going to want to make sure that you've got plenty of diversification there. If you don't, you're going to want to identify those stocks. If any of them are foundational, you're going to keep those. If any of them are an income stock, you're going to keep those. And then you're going to kind of go down the list that way. So I wouldn't sell something simply on the fact that it doesn't pay a dividend. There's other more important criteria to look at before you get to that one. Because an income portfolio does need some type of growth too. And there are some sectors that it's really hard to find dividend-paying companies. So those are in there for the growth part, because you always have your income is dependent on your principal, right? And so with inflation going crazy, if companies are not increasing their dividends over time, which is one of the things that we're looking for in a dividend-paying company, but if they're not keeping up with that rate of inflation, then your income could suffer. So you do need some companies that are going to offer some growth.